Today, the FDA responded to evidence of a possible link between autism and Tylenol. President Trump announced yesterday that the use of acetaminophen during pregnancy can be linked to increased risk of autism. This, despite decades of evidence that it is safe. So joining us with more on the FDA's reaction is our 9 News medical expert, Dr. Kohli. So let's talk about the key points kind of summarized in this letter, the FDA to doctors, and why they issued it.
I mean, I was a bit surprised to receive it, to be honest. Basically, the letter says that they're doing a label change. They're going to put a warning label on Tylenol saying that it may have pregnant women who take Tylenol may have an increased risk of neurodevelopmental disorders in their children. And they also say that chronic use of Tylenol seems to be worse than just short-term use. But, you know, we know that 40 to 70% of pregnant women reach for Tylenol at some point during their pregnancy. And without a causal relationship being established, for them to put this out there to all the physicians in a letter, for the FDA to rubber stamp this warning, it really has me surprised.
Just so our viewers get an understanding of how either common or unusual this is, how often do you get a letter like this?
Not often, especially for such a ubiquitous medicine like acetaminophen or Tylenol, which has been around for decades. So making doctors aware of the risks of something that we have safely used for many years, which again, there's not new science that prompts the letter. It's just sort of a reanalysis of the older science. In fact, one of the studies that came out last year in 2024 looked at 2.5 million Swedish children and found no increased risk when they accounted for something called a sibling control, which means a sibling pair, same parents, same environment. Mom used Tylenol one pregnancy, didn't in the other, and there didn't appear to be a difference. So we really haven't established such a causality to cause this kind of label change, in my opinion.
Yeah, because, well, like all studies, you can find certain things. And to be fair, pregnant women are told so many things to be afraid of. Don't drink too much caffeine. Don't eat tuna. Don't eat what, I mean, you try to do all these things, but when you get later on into a pregnancy, especially, you are uncomfortable.
Yes.
I mean, and Tylenol is one of the few things that no matter what you're thinking, it's okay.
Yes. Yeah, there are legitimate painkillers you cannot take.
That's correct. You
so
can't
does
take
it
narcotics.
cross into the placenta?
Yeah, so I want pregnant women to know this because this is a fact. And again, to be fair and give a balanced opinion, it does cross into the placenta. In fact, they found it in umbilical cord blood. They found it in fetal urine. They found it in the amniotic fluid. And one of the other things mentioned in the letter is that depending on the timing of exposure, especially when the organs are developing, such as the first trimester, the baby's liver is not mature yet. And so potentially the baby's liver can't metabolize Tylenol in the same way, and it crosses pretty quickly into the placenta. So could that increase exposure? To me, that begs the question that we need more research about timing of exposure, first, second, third trimester delivery. Right. Dose of exposure. Is it better to take 2 extra strength Tylenol one day or take 1 extra strength Tylenol 2 separate days? Does that matter to the baby? But more research is needed.
I know, more research is needed, and there's so much conversation around this. Just before we go, for women who are out there who are thinking about becoming pregnant or are pregnant, can they reach for Tylenol? Has it changed?
Nothing has changed. The American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology, the American Academy of Pediatrics, treat fever, treat pain in yourself if you're pregnant and your children, because the fever, the pain can actually cause harm, including neurodevelopmental defects like spina bifida, problems with growth of the fetus, as well as labor problems, and in children, febrile seizures. So don't be fearful. And again, this is coming from all the organizations out there saying that nothing has changed in the science. We're going to continue to look into this. There may be an association, but we haven't established causality.
Yeah, I mean, take care of yourself. That's the key, what you're saying. Oh my goodness, okay.
Doctor, thanks so much. And you can find more with Dr. Kohli at 9news.com/Dr. Kohli.